Hello everyone. So this is the fourth part of our chapter, which is chemical coordination and integration. So let's begin with adrenal gland for today. And yes, so let's start with the adrenal gland. So our body has one pair of adrenal gland, and one is present at the anterior part of our each kidney. Each kidney will have one pair of adrenal each kidney will have one adrenal gland, and it is present at the anterior part of each kidney. And the gland is composed of two types of tissues. What are these tissues? uh, Yes, it can composed of two types of tissues. The centrally located tissue one is called as the adrenal medulla, because medulla will be present at the center, okay. And the outside cortex is always outside, so the outermost part will be called as adrenal cortex. What will it called as? Adrenal cortex. And if there will be underproduction of this hormone by the adrenal cortex, it will alter what? It will alter the carbohydrate metabolism, which will lead to the acute weakness and fatigue, and which will lead to a disease which we call as Addison's disease. Addison's disease. So, if there is underproduction of this hormone by our adrenal cortex, it will alter the carbohydrate metabolism, which will lead to the acute weakness and fatigue, and lead to a disease which is Addison's disease. Next, adrenal medulla. Wait. Yes. Okay. So our adrenal medulla secretes two hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline. These are the two hormones which our adrenal medulla secretes. Adrenaline is also called as epinephrine, and noradrenaline is also called as norepinephrine. Okay, so we have only two hormones which get secreted by the adrenal medulla, and these two hormones are adrenaline and noradrenaline. Adrenaline is also called as epinephrine, and noradrenaline is also called as norepinephrine. Okay, and these are commonly called as catecholamines. What are these called as? They are commonly called as catecholamines. Adrenaline and noradrenaline are called as the emergency hormones, or hormones of fight, flight or fear. Okay, hormone of FFF भी कहा जाता है इनको. क्या कहा जाता है? इनको कहा जाता है hormone of FFF, means fear, flight and fight. Okay, so these hormones are secreted, adrenaline and noradrenaline are secreted by our adrenal cortex. Okay, and this is also called as epinephrine, it is also called as norepinephrine, and these are commonly called as emergent catecholamines, and catecholamines we can say them. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. These are commonly called as what? These are commonly called as catecholamines, and these adrenaline and noradrenaline are rapidly secreted when we have any issue, or like if we have to respond some emergency situation, or we have any kind of stress, then these kind of hormones are secreted by our adrenal cortex. Okay, and these kind of hormones are secreted by our adrenal cortex. Adrenaline and noradrenaline, these hormones are secreted by our adrenal medulla. Okay, and adrenaline and noradrenaline are also called as emergency hormones of fight, flight and fear. And these hormones increase alertness, pupillary dilation it will increase. This will also increase the piloerection, means the raising of hair. We can say that goosebumps, right? When we have some kind of stress, or during any panic situation, we get some goosebumps and we start sweating up. So it is due to this hormone only. And Both the hormones increase the heartbeat. That time heartbeat also gets increased, and the strength of heart contraction and rate of respiration also gets increased. Okay, and the catecholamines also stimulate the breakdown of glycogen. There will be some breakdown of glycogen, due to which what will happen, due to which concentration of glucose in the blood will get increased. If there is breakdown of it, it will lead to the increase in the concentration of glucose in our blood, and it will also stimulate the breakdown of lipids and proteins. Okay, represent protein. And the adrenal cortex, now this was all about adrenal medulla, now we are talking about adrenal cortex. So adrenal cortex is divided into three layers. First one is zona reticularis, it is the innermost layer. Next we have zona fasciculata, it is the middle one layer, and we have zona glomerulosa, which is the outermost layer. Okay, so we have the zona reticularis, this is the innermost layer. Okay, next we have zona fasciculata, which is the innermost layer, which is the innermost middle layer, sorry, which is the middle layer. Next we have zona glomerulosa, which is the outermost layer, so we have zona reticularis, which is the innermost layer, zona fasciculata, which is the middle layer, and zona glomerulosa, which is the outer layer. These are the three layers of adrenal cortex, and the adrenal cortex secretes many hormones, which we commonly call as corticoids. The common name for the hormone secreted by our adrenal medulla was what? See, it was catecholamines. It was catecholamines. 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 And the common name for